Good day, my name is Simon Ngwa. I'm here to present my topic, Managing SDLC in Agile Methodology. So, what is SDLC? It's a process we use to build software from planning to maintenance. Traditional models like waterfall are rigid and step-by-step approaches, but Agile advances things with methods like Scrum and Kanban. Agile focuses on short iterative cycles, teamwork, and adapting to changes. What are the key challenges when using Agile? Its flexibility comes with challenges. Skipping upfront design can lead to rework, especially in very large projects. The fast pace of Agile can burn out developers and pile up technical debt. Moving on to best practices when using Agile. We have to break work into short sprints of like 1 to 4 weeks to stay nimble. We have to hold daily stand-ups to keep everyone on the same page. Work closely with customers and stakeholders daily if possible to ensure the software meets their needs. Focus on quality with automated testing and continuous integration, and keep documentation light but enough to support the team. So on to case studies and limitations. Well, we have some real world wins when using Agile, SDLC in Agile. I'll give an instance of Spotify that uses autonomous teams to stay Agile. Well, ING Bank transformed their processes with strong leadership. But Agile is not perfect. It can lead to scope creep in complex projects. Skimping on documentation can cause hassles later. And the fast pace risks burnout if you're not careful with gauging the limits. So to conclude, I'll wrap things up. Agile lets us deliver software faster and adapt to change, but it requires discipline. It addresses challenges like training gaps and technical debt, and lean on best practices like iteration and collaboration. It's all about balancing flexibility with structure to build high quality software that keeps customers happy. At the end of the day, the customer is king. Thank you very much for listening.
My name is Oluwaseyi Timileyin Victor. Welcome. In today's evolving digital world, organizations constantly implement new IT systems, but how many truly succeed? It turns out the secret often lies not just in tech itself, but effective change management. This video summarizes a comprehensive analysis of critical topic, focusing on IT systems and implementation projects. The business landscape is constantly changing, driven by new technologies. This means IT system implementations are no longer one-off events, but a continuous process of adaptation. Without proper change management, these transitions can lead to confusion, anxiety, and a significant drop in productivity. In fact, projects with excellent change management systems are 142% more likely to succeed. The paper delves into key change management models that guide successful IT transformation. Lewin's three-step model, think of it like melting, molding, and refreezing ice. On freeze, this is about preparing the organization for change, showing why the current systems aren't working. This then change that's moving. This is the actual deployment of the new IT system, coupled with user training. Then refreeze. Here, the new system comes standard, integrated into daily operations, while Lewin's model suggests a static refreeze. In IT, it is about establishing a new dynamic baseline for future changes. Kotter's 8-step process. This is the comprehensive roadmap for building large-scale application. It starts with creating a sense of urgency and building a powerful guiding coalition. Then it's about developing and communicating a clear vision, empowering people to act, and celebrating short-term wins. Finally, a focus on consolidating gains and anchoring new approaches in the organizational structure. Kotter's model emphasizes human elements, which is crucial for IT project success. Akda's model. This is an individual focused framework. It helps people adopt and sustain change. If it goes like this: awareness, understanding why change is needed; desire, the personal willingness to support the change; knowledge, knowing how to change; then ability, the capacity their capacity to implement new skills; reinforcement, sustaining the change long term through recognition, monitoring. ACTA is vital for IT adoption because it addresses individual impact on daily tasks and workflows. IT implementation faces a unique mix of challenges: technical complexities and organizational human challenges. Technical complexities: this includes sheer scale of projects, integrating diverse and often legacy systems, and constantly changing requirements, and managing vast amounts of data, security, and scalability. Then organizational and human challenges. This is where things can get tricky. Talking about employee resistance, lack of leadership buy-in, poor communication, insufficient training, misaligned expectations, and so many more. So what are strategic approaches for effective change management? We have proactive learning and readiness assessment. We have robust communication and engagement. We have leadership sponsorship and guiding coalition. We have comprehensive training and support. In conclusion, or in essence, successful IT system in its implementation hinges on recognizing that change management isn't just a supportive function, it's a critical determinant of success. By embracing proactive planning, robust communication, and strong leadership, comprehensive training, and empathetic resistance management, organizations can ensure the successful adoption of full realization of IT investments. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Logan, and today I'm presenting my term paper on managing IT project dependencies and risks. Why this topic matters? In today's fast-paced world, IT projects are foundational to business transformation and innovation. But with this importance comes complexity, especially when it comes to managing interdependent tasks and navigating unpredictable risks. This paper explores how dependencies and risks interact and how project managers can use hybrid methodology to address them effectively. My study addresses three key questions. Number one, what type of dependencies exist in IT projects and how do they affect timelines? What are the most common risks in modern IT environments is the second question. And for the third question, how can we blend agile and traditional management strategies to mitigate these issues? To answer these, I conducted a systematic literature review using peer-reviewed sources published between 2021 and 2025. Dependencies, what are they? They are a core concept of this work. They are a relationship between tasks where one affects the start or finish of another. These are categorized into four. Finish to start, which is the most common, start to start, finish to finish, and start to finish, which is the least common. Tools like Gantt charts and dependency matrices help visualize these relationships, allowing managers to identify bottlenecks and adjust schedules proactively. Risks in IT projects. They can be technical, operational, security-related, or financial. Factors like cybersecurity threats, poor resource planning, or unexpected changes in scope can derail a project. Agile risk management emphasizes continuous monitoring and flexibility, while traditional methods focus on detailed planning. Together, they offer a balanced approach. I used a quantitative approach, reviewing over 20 scholarly articles and case studies from reputable digital libraries like IED Explore and ACM. I performed thematic coding to identify patterns in how organizations manage dependencies and risks effectively. Key strategies and case studies. Effective strategies used include mapping dependencies visually, arranging dependencies in an easy-to-use format, allocating buffer time, maintaining open stakeholder communication, and conducting continuous risk reviews. For example, a global software firm implemented a hybrid framework, improved delivery accuracy by 30%. Another organization reduced their downtime by 25% using real-time risk monitoring tools. Conclusions. In summary, combining agile and traditional methodology leads to more resilient and adaptable IT projects, merging the best of both worlds and allowing them to use their key advantages effectively. I recommend improving communication among stakeholders, using automated tools for real-time tracking, and exploring machine learning for predictive risk analysis. Ultimately, managing dependencies and risks isn't just about avoiding failure. It's about enabling innovation and efficiency with the right framework. IT project managers can better navigate complexity and deliver successful outcomes in an ever-changing environment. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. Today we are diving into a critical topic in project management, building high-performing project teams. This presentation is based on my term paper to be submitted to the Software Engineering Department of Veritas University. In our fast-paced and competitive world, organizations need high-performing project teams to survive and thrive. But even with the decades of research, and many teams still struggle due to communication issues, mismatched skills, and ineffective leadership. This study is set out to explore the modern strategies, technologies, and leadership models that can help solve these problems. This paper has three main objectives. Number one, to analyze recent research from 2021 to 2025 on team performance, to uncover the key factors that contribute to successful project teams, and finally, to propose a practical framework for building and sustaining high-performing teams. It focuses especially on teams working in innovation-driven industries. The literature review highlights several key themes. First, team dynamic. Teams that build trust, embrace diversity, and work cohesively are more likely to succeed. Leadership models. Adaptive and transformational leaders who inspire, adjust, and maintain vision are essential. Technological integration, tools like digital dashboard and collaboration software are helping teams work smarter. Still, the research shows gaps, especially in understanding the long-term effects of veteran teams and how leadership interacts with technology. The study used a mixed method approach, combining qualitative insights with quantitative data. Sources included academic journals, industry reports, and real-world case studies. The findings were analyzed using thematic coding and statistical method, ensuring a well-rounded perspective. The results showed that high-performing teams often share three traits: clear, consistent communication, diverse but complementary skill sets, leaders who are responsible and adaptable. Case studies revealed that agile software teams thrive on flexibility and feedback, while cross-functional teams in manufacturing improve innovation coordination and efficiency through collaboration. Based on findings, several best practices are recommended. Invest in solid communication infrastructure, encourage team diversity to enhance problem solving, train leaders to adapt to change, conduct regular performance reviews and feedback loops. Between 2021 and 2025, these trends are reshaping team performance. AI tools now help monitor team health and predict risk. Remote and hybrid models are driving new management styles. Smart collaboration platforms are blending communication, analytics, and project management. But challenges remain. Team faces issues like communication barriers, undefined roles, conflicts, resistance to change, skills mismatch, low motivation, poor leadership. Each challenge has practical solutions, from using Raki matrices for roles to leadership training programs and structured change management approaches. In conclusion, building a high-performing team is not just about having the right tool, it's about fostering trust, enabling strong leadership, and embracing change. As we move further into the future, the organizations that balance human insights with technological innovations will be the ones that lead. Thank you so much for watching.
Good evening. My name is Okeke Otichima Joy. My project topic is cross-functional collaboration in marketing projects in software engineering. This topic basically has to do with marketing and software engineering. So it has to do with software engineers and marketers coming together to collaborate in order to produce successful software projects. This paper actually dives into the challenges that come from this collaboration and how cross-functional collaboration can be improved. It looks at real-world case studies, identifies common friction points, and proposes strategies that allow software engineering teams and marketing professionals to work together more effectively. The objective of this study is to understand how cross-functional teamwork impacts project success, particularly in technology-driven marketing efforts, and how those in software engineering can adopt practices that align better with fast-paced marketing goals. One of the key problems I addressed was lack of shared understanding between marketers and software engineers. So while marketers prioritize speed and customer-facing features, engineers focus on technical feasibility and long-term stability. Without structured collaboration, this disconnect often leads to delay, rework, and misfired campaigns. This research also identified the gaps in current collaboration practices, including limited use of shared project management tools, insufficient early-stage involvement of software teams in marketing planning, and lack of role clarity. Through this paper, I proposed solutions based on agile principles, DevOps integration, and improved communication models to bridge the gap between these marketers and software engineers. I also suggest that organizations invest in cross-training, shared metrics, and flexible project roadmaps to improve alignment between these two. In conclusion, successful collaboration between marketers and software engineers isn't just beneficial but necessary in the success of project development. As software becomes an integral part in marketing strategies, the ability of teams to work seamlessly across functions will define how fast and effectively businesses can innovate and respond to market needs. Thank you.
Good day, Dr. Anayo. My name is Stephanie Daniel, and I'm here to present my project topic, and it's called Social Media Campaigns, Project Management for Success. So this paper explores the intersection of social media campaigns and project management, focusing on the strategies that ensure successful outcomes. In today's digital first world, social media has become a critical tool for communication, branding, and engagement. However, the success of campaigns depends heavily on the structured planning and management. This study delves into how project management frameworks such as Agile, Waterfall, and Scrum are used to manage social media initiatives. So it draws from recent case studies, literature, and real-world scenarios to identify best practices, tools, and challenges, finding why creativity is essential and equally important in social media campaigns. So why exactly social media important? Because it has rapidly transformed from a casual communication tool into strategic platforms for business and organizations. It is now central to digital marketing, community engagement, and customer relationship management. This paper explores how project management principles drive the success of social media campaigns. So many social media campaigns fail due to poor planning, unclear goals, and lack of coordination among stakeholders. Without proper project management, campaigns can waste resources, miss target audiences, or result in reputational damage. So the objectives of this study are to examine how project management principles can apply to social media campaigns, explore challenges associated with managing social media projects, and to recommend best practices for campaign management. So before we get into it further, what is a social media media campaign. It is a coordinated marketing effort using one or more social media platform to achieve a goal. And then project management is the application of processes, methods, skills, and experiences to achieve specific objectives. A social media campaign is a coordinated marketing effort to reinforce or assist with a business goal using one or more social media platform. Project management involves initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing projects. To back up my work, several studies from the span of 2021 to 2025 have highlighted the evolving role of social media in project-based settings. Like Ninan in 2022 discussed the historical shift using social media in project workflows and emphasized integration with agile methodologies. Hussein and others in 2023 stressed that integrating technology into campaign management gives us as organizations a competitive edge. So this study uses qualitative content analysis based on recent peer-reviewed articles and books. Case studies were selected from international journals and contextualized using data from emerging markets like Nigeria. So a successful social media campaign begins with goal setting, audience segmentation, content planning, and KPI alignment. Planning involves different scopes, budget, timing, and return on investment expectations using PM tools like Gantt charts or Kanban boards. And the project management strategies and campaigns require initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closing. Wu in 2022 emphasized on how digital project environments require faster iterations and collaborative workflow. Some of the tools and technology used in campaign management include Trello for task tracking, Meta Business Suite for content scheduling, and Google Analytics or HubSpot for KPI tracking. Some of the challenges and limitations of this project study include the saturation of content, fake engagement metrics, privacy regulation, as well as lack of digital skills. In conclusion, this paper finds that social media campaigns succeed not only through creativity but through structured project management. The organizations should adopt digital tools, monitor KPIs, train their teams, and follow a lifecycle approach to campaign design. For students and professionals alike, project management skills are vital for tuning engagement into value. So, for further recommendations, I would invest in project training for digital marketing, use agile frameworks for campaigns, and promote collaboration between developers and marketers. The work I used in this project was gotten from different works which will be referenced in the document. Thank you very much.
Good day, my name is Emmanuel Lamdi. Okay, the title of my paper is Risk Management in Environmental Remediation Project. Environmental remediation project aims to clean up contaminated sites, soil, groundwater, or surface water to protect human health and environment. However, this project involves numerous uncertainties and risks, including regulatory, technical, financial, and social challenges. The key risks in environmental remediations: 1. Site characterization risk, regulatory risk, technical risks, financial risk, stakeholder risk, health and safety risk. The risk management process are: 1. Identification. Use historic data, experts, input, and site assessment to list potential risk. Analyze assess. Assess the likelihood and impact, quantitative or qualitative. Evaluation. Prioritize risks based on severity to focus resources effectively. Mitigation planning. Develop strategies to avoid, reduce, transfer, or accept risks. Monitoring and review. Ongoing tracking of risks and mitigation effectiveness throughout the project lifecycle. Tools and techniques. Risk registers to document and tracks identified risks. TIS and modeling tools to visualize contamination and predict outcomes. Probabilistic modeling. Engine. For example, Monte Carlo simulations for uncertain analysis. Decision trees and cost benefits. Analyze to evaluate response strategies. The best practices. Early stakeholders engagement, build trust and reduce social risk. Adaptive project management allows for flexible response to emerging risk. Contingency planning and budgeting ensure financial preparedness. Multidisciplinary collaboration improves technical decision making. In conclusion, effective risk management in environmental remediation is essential for success, ensuring projects meet legal requirements, stay within budget, protect public health, and achieve long-term environment goals. A structured approach minimizes uncertainty and helps stakeholders make informed, defensible decisions. Thank you.
Sustainability reporting and project management, bridging the gaps between ESG commitments and project execution. Presented by Ahmed Boniface to Dr. Anayo Chukwu Ike. Introduction to ESG PM integration. Sustainability reporting tracks ESG performance. However, only 40% of projects successfully integrate ESG metrics. Our thesis explores how to bridge this gap effectively. Key focus: sustainability reporting tracks ESG. Problem: 40% of projects integrate ESG metrics. Effective ESG PM integration needs adaptive leadership, hybrid methodologies like Agile, Waterfall, and AI tools. This overcomes data fragmentation and stakeholders' resistance. Key findings in ESG PM integration. Our research highlights technology and leadership as critical drivers. AI tools significantly reduce reporting errors and speed up decisions. Technology. AI tools reduce reporting errors by 45%. Predictive analytics speed up decisions by 30%. Leadership. Transformationally, leadership boosts ESG adoption by 50%. It also increases team engagement by 35%. Industry variations. Tech, 80% adoption, outperforms construction, 38%. This is due to agile frameworks. Challenges and proposed solution. Significant barriers hinder SGPM integration. Data fragmentation and stakeholder resistance are key issues. Now, data fragmentation, 60% struggle to merge ESG with PM system, and the proposed solution is API-based integration. As for the stakeholder resistance, 55% face pushback due to perceived costs. Proposed solution, cross-functional sustainability champions. Then the sectoral gaps, construction jags behind tech manufacturing. Proposed solution, standardized KPI. Recommendations for integration. To achieve successful ESG PM integration, organizations and leaders must adopt specific strategies. Future research is also vital. As for organizations, integrate AI-driven ESG dashboard, mandate sustainability KPIs in project charters, use IoT for real-time monitoring. For leaders, adopt transformational leadership styles, invest in PMI certified ESG training programs. Then future research, conduct long-term ESG ROI studies, explore cultural implementation variations, measuring ESG integration success. So this is basically the graphical representation of the ESG integration. Quantifying the impact of ESG initiatives is crucial. Bridging the ESG PM gap. We've explored key findings, challenges, and recommendations. Let's consider how organizations can integrate ESG and PM. Now, by 45% error reduction, AI tools reduces reporting errors. Then 45% ESG adoption, leadership boosts ESG adoption. Then 30% decision speed, predictive analytics speed decisions. In conclusion, aligning projects with sustainability reports. ESG PM integration is achievable through technology, leadership, and hybrid methodologies. Case study proves scalability. Thanks for watching, and please give me 10 marks. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Dr. Anayo. My name is Norifai Anthony. I'm currently right now presenting to you a 10 paper titled Deep Learning in Drug Discovery and Pharmaceutical Research. Now, our topic explores how advanced AI, especially deep learning, helps in transforming how new drugs are being created and discovered. So, I will explain to you why this matters. Drug discovery traditionally is time inefficient, risky, and expensive, taking about 10 to 15 years to create and to be discovered. But with DL, it is now time efficient. It now aids in creating faster drugs and creating more efficient drugs. So we'll be going straight to how our deep learning works. So we have the deep learning models like CNN, RNN, generative models are what are currently used in creating these new drugs. Our CNN analyzes 3D protein structures, RNN processes chemical sequences, while the GNA creates new drug molecules that are used to automate complex tasks like predicting molecular behavior, designing drugs, and even identifying new uses for old drugs, unlike traditional methods which takes longer time to process and carry out. Now, we'll be explaining to you where this is used in pharmaceutical pipelines. Now, there in every step in the pharmaceutical pipeline, we have the target identification, the virtual screening, the lead optimization, and the clinical trials. So we go down to real-world examples, applications where this DL have been proven to be successful in drug discovery. We have the AlphaFold, which predicts protein structures from sequences essential for drug design. The Benevolent AI, which uses DL to identify baricitinib as a COVID-19 treatment. We have the Atomwise, using CNN for virtual screening, and the Insular Medicine, designing drugs using generative models already entering trials. Now we'll be showing to you some of the challenges and futures. Now these challenges involve poor quality of the drug, lack of model interpretability, and ethical and regulatory audits. In conclusion, deep learning is just a way to change how medicines are being created and help us to create more great drugs smarter, faster, and cheaper. Thank you. I'm happy to take any questions from you.
Good day, Dr. Nayo. My name is Okeke Kaji Felix, and I will be presenting my 10 paper on how blockchain can improve the security of IoT networks. This 10 paper is basically a review on the topic and also a framework proposal. So basically, IoT is everywhere, from in our homes, in agriculture, in various sectors of the world. And now, security is paramount. This is where blockchain comes in. IoT networks can bring rise to security threats. So now blockchain comes in to fill in that gap. Blockchain, as we all know, offers decentralization and immutability, which will help secure this IoT network from threats to the system. Because imagine a smart home automation where you can off your light from the smartphone, and now someone, an unauthorized user, is now messing with your devices, turning off your lights without your consent. Now, you can prevent this using blockchain. At least it will offer security, knowing that there will not be any unauthorized access to your IoT network. So, my review found that blockchain helps secure IoT by ensuring device trust, data integrity, and traceability. However, it's not without limitations. What we have to consider when integrating blockchain security to our IoT network is that as we integrate it, we have to ensure that it doesn't reduce performance. And as much as we want to secure the device, we have to make sure it meets up to standard and perform at its full capabilities. So I propose from the 10 paper, a layered framework was proposed that uses a lightweight blockchain protocol supported by smart contracts and edge computing. And this approach enables real-time application, tamper-proof login, and decentralized access control without overwhelming IoT devices. So now we're talking about the benefits and limitations of blockchain, blockchain networks, blockchain security in IT networks. The benefit is that it offers a scalable trust model, a stronger resilience to attack. It will be more difficult for attackers to get in, and auditability and transparency. So, as for the limitations, the downside to this integration complexity, it may be very hard. You will need high professionalism to actually integrate this. So that's one of the downsides to it. And it may also energy and computational demand. It may consume a lot of resources as well. Then need for industry standardization. So this framework basically can significantly improve security and resilience, but adoption will require careful attention to cost, compatibility, and real-world applications. So in conclusion, blockchain has the potential to transform IoT security to the next level. With the right framework, we can bridge the gap between innovation and protection. So that would be my presentation on blockchain security and IoT networks. Thank you for your attention.
I'm a trained level software engineering student with math number VUG SEN22839. I'm going to be talking on the topic implementing agile methodologies for effective product delivery. And now we're going from the perspective of real life application, not just the theoretical definition. Now, as a software engineer myself, most of the times when working on a software project, especially a large one, it often feels that nothing's going according to plan. I find myself exceeding expected time of delivery, exceeding my budget, and sometimes I even have to drop the project because this project has gone haywire, but I don't even know what the problem is at all. And I know for a fact I'm not alone. That's the reason why I'm going to be talking about agile methodologies. That's the reason it was created, designed for real developers with real problems. Firstly, what is agile methodology? By definition, agile methodology is a project management framework that breaks projects down into several dynamic phases, commonly known as sprints. The agile framework is an iterative methodology. That is, you have multiple sprints, but each sprint has sets of actions: planning, building, testing, and reviewing the product. So with each sprint, you are performing these actions over and over again. After every sprint, teams reflect and look back to see if there was anything that could be improved, so they can adjust the strategy for next sprint. Now, we're talking about the theoretical meaning of agile, but it is more than just a set of words or tools. It's a mindset. It's about being adaptive, iterative, and deeply customer focused. Whether we're using Scrum, Kanban, or a hybrid agile methodology, the main purpose is breaking down work into smaller, manageable chunks and continuously delivering value. Now, value is the key word here, because with agile, we can stop chasing perfection, which ends up wasting our production time, and instead focus on delivering what actually matters sooner. But of course, agile is not just about delivering fast. It's about being responsive. Markets change, requirements shift. Agile is how we embrace these changes without losing our footing. Next, we have how do we implement agile for effective project delivery from a real life point of view, real sense. Firstly, with a team, you have to start with mindset alignment. Everyone, from the developers to stakeholders to designers and so on, need to understand that although agile was built for the chaotic world of rapidly changing requirements and market, it is not chaos. It is structured flexibility. We must first come to agreement that instead of wasting time writing a 100-page requirements doc, instead we're going to talk continuously, build iteratively, and improve as we go. Secondly, you must prioritize collaboration. Agile teams aren't just groups of coders. You have testers, designers, product owners, and sometimes even the customers themselves, all in the loop. Daily stand-ups on sprint planning, retrospectives should not be once-in-a-while rituals. They should be constant touch points that keep everyone aligned and heard. Thirdly, we must visualize the work. Tools like Jira, Trello, and even a simple whiteboard can make a huge difference. When everyone is in the know of the backlog, the sprint goals, and the progress, it creates a sense of ownership, and ownership creates accountability. Keeping everyone constantly involved mitigates sense of apathy towards the project, thus maintaining active participation and quicker project delivery. Fourth, we have deliver working software early and often. A 2-week sprint that ends with a demo-ready feature, an actual working prototype, is far more useful than a 3-month of theoretical progress. We're not just building a product, we're building confidence from both in the team and our clients' confidence in us too. So coming after 2 weeks with actual working prototype is better than 3 months worth of talk and planning and process design or whatever. It lets both your client and the team know that they're capable of so much more. Finally, we have inspect and adapt. Agile assumes we'll make mistakes. Making it okay, and that is the reality of software development. You will make mistakes. So when you have sprint meetings, retrospectives, they are not blame sessions, they are growth labs. You discuss what worked, what didn't, what do you try next time. That's the fuel for continuous improvement. Now, why does Agile work? I've seen Agile succeed not because it's efficient but because it's human. The developer stuck for 2 days doesn't need a Gantt chart, they need a 5 minute huddle. A product owner who changes their mind halfway through the production process is not a crisis, it's not a reason why production should be halted. But that thanks to Agile, it's just a new sprint goal. Agile works because it mirrors the reality of software development. It's iterative, imperfect, and always evolving. And when done right, it empowers teams to respond, not just react. Use engineers the freedom to build, reflect, and refine, and begin to create something tangible at every stage. So when implementing Agile, don't just check the boxes. Believe the principles. Focus on people. Deliver early. Adapt continuously. Effective project delivery isn't just about velocity. It's about alignment, clarity, and trust. Agile, at its heart, is a way to build not just better software, but better teams. Thanks for watching.
Good day, sir. Today I'm going to be talking about my 10 paper titled Managing Healthcare System Implementation Projects, which is about how hospitals and clinics can bring new technologies such as digital health records, video calls with doctors, or patients management apps, and how they can do everything without it falling apart. Now, imagine a hospital wants to stop using paper files and start using computers to store patient information. That sounds great. But it's not easy. It's not as easy as you think. If they rush it and don't do plan it well, it can lead to confusion, the staff can get frustrated, and even the patient safety is at risk. So my 10 paper basically breaks down how to properly manage these changes. Firstly, it starts off with just planning, which involves the thinking of what the goals are and what needs to be done and how long it will take and the amount that we needed to maintain it. Secondly, the involvement of stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are the doctors, nurses, and patients. Then also risk management. It's better to prepare for mistakes and cyber attacks or system crash, especially the ones caused by hackers. Always prepare safety measure for all those things. Training and support. Tech staffs. Teaching tech staffs how to use, teaching the hospital staff how to use these systems so that when it's time to use it, they will not be hesitant and will not cause problems for the patients. Another key point is also steps to achieve all this. Maintain, observe a pilot test. You should be able to small so that you'll be able to know how the rest of the system will be. Train the user as well so that they won't end up being hesitant, like I earlier said. Fix the issues fast so that when there are issues, when there are errors, it won't affect the usage of the app. And make sure it works well with other systems in the sense that it should be very compatible with the other systems that are being used with it and checking it regularly so that it saves time and also makes the patients and is happier and the staff less stressed. One of the reasons why changes are difficult in healthcare is because most of the staff in that field prefer to use the old way because they feel like it's easier. Because not many people prefer the technological way of doing things, and it can be expensive in the sense that you tend to spend a lot of money maintaining it and also um to use it. Maybe people pay to teach them how to use the app or all sorts of things. There might be technological errors in the sense that the app could end up being slow and prevent the can test the patience of the user or can prevent progress in the line of work. Privacy and security risk. People don't want to let's say a tech app now. People tend to not want to use such because they don't want to have to give in their personal details and they're scared of the risk that it will have with their details online. In the end, I suggest that um, hospitals should take it step by step so that they won't have to spend the amount of money that they will spend to maintain the physical files. To give a real life example, let's say a hospital switching to digital records, and the staffs are they now have to do like switch to something that they're not usually used to. There will be some staff that will refuse it, and then also errors can occur, which will not make the staff to want to use the the app more. What you do to now fix it is like the steps I already given earlier. Doing a pilot test, adding training so that the staff can be able to understand the app well and listening to feedbacks. Tech in healthcare is great, but only if it's done right. Focus on planning the people and the safety of the people. The goal is better care, not fancier tools. And also, my paper basically is about how to make sure hospitals don't just add new techs, but also actually makes it work for everybody around. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Awumio Oje Raphael. In this video, I'll be presenting my paper on the impact of artificial intelligence on IT project management. This paper explores how AI technologies like machine learning, natural language models and processing, and predictive analysis are transforming IT projects, how IT projects are planned, how they are managed, and how they are delivered. Traditionally, project management relied on rigid frameworks and manual methods that were prone to errors, as human beings are, miscommunication, and inefficiencies. However, the rise of various technologies such as artificial intelligence, to name a few, but mainly artificial intelligence, Organizations will now be shifting to intelligent data-driven methods that improve decision making, resource allocation, and overall project success. This shift represents a major evolution in how things will be planned, how projects will be executed, and how products will come to life, especially in the fast-paced IT sector that we all reside in. So the objective of this study, the objective of the studies was first one is to examine how AI tools improve efficiency in project execution, to analyze AI's role in forecasting and decision making, and to identify challenges in adopting AI in project workflow. This study focuses specifically on the software-related IT projects, not code developers, mainly software projects, and draws insight from academic research and real-world case studies published between 2019 and 2025. The tools used to gather this research were mainly Google Scholar and Elsevier. Okay, so the key applications of AI in project management include the following, but these are key ones. So there's task automation and scheduling, in the sense that when doing project management, you need to plan, okay, this is how the task go, this is your timeline. Sometimes due to the human nature, there can be several errors in this fit. So AI can help to can analyze the patterns of each member of the team and analyze and output a specific way that can know that, okay, this method will yield the most results, do it like this and it will work out. And then it can also include predictive to risk management, showing that, okay, it has now predicted this way you will go, and you will now take the risks that come along with doing these ways. So that you know that, okay, let's say a particular other company is launching a product like you, it can tell you, okay, he has analyzed the market based on machine learning. This specific company or this specific strategy aside from that company can cause you a risk to your product, mitigate this. Then there's natural language processing. So this is a natural language model. It can write out documentation for you, it can create letters for you. As we all know, natural language model like ChatGPT, for example, since it's the most common one, can bring out massive amount of text and massive amount of results fairly quickly. So this is the thing that AI is offering into project management, as when you need documentations, big maybe write-ups to send to corporate or emails that you need to send out to your people. AI can help you with that. Then decision systems, as they help with your decision-making process. And this is not a new technology, not really a new concept. It has been fairly adopted in other fields, such as in several US universities where they have used it to increase, they have used artificial intelligence to increase their productive delivery by 25%, or stakeholder management response times due to AI has reduced by 60%. What I'm pushing for is what this paper is, this study is hoping to introduce is let it become more notable to the people that, okay, artificial intelligence can be used for this process. So the challenges of adoption of AI, the challenge that AI adoption faces is data privacy and security risk. That's, okay, AI is a technology, it's ones and zeros, so it can be hacked, as most things that are cyber, but that's not a major issue to face. There's algorithmic bias based on, okay, how this if the AI is not trained as well as it's meant to be, it can cause a little dysfunction in your project management. And then there's the ethics that come with using AI nowadays. You think AI is trying to take your job, but it's not really taking your job, it's just making it simpler for the masses. All these particular challenges, they must be addressed thoroughly for anybody that's trying to use the AI. And then there's the high implementation cost. Because implementing AI can be simple, but in a scale that ensures that it works best for you, you need to make sure that everything's standard, so that leads to high implementation cost. Then the future direction is to build trust and transparency in AI. AI is coming out in the future.
Project delivery models in construction, comparative study, course code SN304. The project delivery model refers to the organizational structure that dictates how a construction project is planned, designed, and executed. The choice of delivery model significantly impacts timeline and cost, communication between stakeholders, risk allocation, quality of outputs, legal accountability. The most common models include design, build, DBB, design, build, DB, construction management at risk, CMER, integrated project delivery, IPD, public-private partnership, PPP or P3. Each model has distinct attributes that make it suitable for specific project types, risk, and stakeholder needs. Comparative analysis on major delivery models. Okay. Reference to figure 2. Design, build, DBB is the most traditional model. The owner hires a designer, then invites a contractor to build on the completed design. The advantage is competitive price and BID. That is the highest bidder, the lowest bidder takes the project. Clear roles and responsibility, well understood process by industry. The limitation is delay due to sequential phases. Inconsistency of use cases, school, buildings, public projects, design, quality, and competitive. Design build. The advantage of design build system is faster delivery through overlapping phases, single point of responsibility, low chances of collaborating. Limitations are less design transparency of owners, quality versus cost concerns, harder to make these design changes. The use cases is time sensitive, and private sector projects like commercial offices and industrial facilities. Construction management at risk, CMER. Owner hires the CMLE who provides during input design and later acts as general contractor. Advantages: CM expertise influences design decisions, guarantees maximum price, reduces cost risks, flexibility of changes during design. Limitations are higher upfront involvement of the owner, can be more expensive than individualized design build, also collaborative. In this case, is healthcare, universities or complex revisions requiring cost control and flexibility. Integrated project delivery, that is IPD. All major parties, owner, designer, contractor sign a single collaborative document sharing risk and reward. The advantage is highest collaboration and trust, reduce risk, schedule delays and cost, any problem solving as a team. Implementation requires culture shift and a legal framework, complete coordination and shared decision making. PPP, that is public-private partnership. This is a long-term partnership with a private entity finance, built and sometimes operates public infrastructure. This is public capital investment with private expertise and innovation, and implementation is complex procurement and legal processes. Use cases: toll roads, airports, water treatment plants, and social infrastructure, e.g. hospitals and prisons. By strategic recommendation. For the budget sensitive and design driven projects, you use design bid build. For fast paced commercial projects, use consider design build. For collaborative, more flexible projects, use CMER. Less construction management at risk. For a high trust innovation focused venture, use IPD. That is integrated project delivery. And for infrastructure with funding limitations, use pursue PPP, that is public-private partnership. In conclusion, project delivery models are not one size fits all. Each model offers different trade-offs and tells us depends on the type of structure you are constructing and the good understanding of the available structure and systems in place. Community understanding enables stakeholders to select the right model for their goals, structure, clear contractual relationships, optimize project timelines and outcomes.
Good morning, sir. My name is Anibog Olivia Ineka, and my matric number is VUG/SEN/22/7074, and I'm submitting this for SEN 304, which titled Software Engineering Project Management. Today, I'm going to be presenting my term paper titled Managing Intellectual Property in Research Projects. This topic is especially important today, as most students and researchers are building innovative solutions but may not fully understand how to protect their ideas. In simple terms, intellectual property (IP) is about protecting ideas, inventions, and creative work. In research projects, IP helps prevent others from misusing your work, and it also allows researchers and institutions to benefit from their innovations. But managing IP can get complicated, especially when different people or institutions are involved in one project. One of the key problems is that many researchers aren't fully aware of IP rights, and without clear agreement, especially in group projects, there can be confusion over who owns it. So the aim of my study was to explore how IP is currently managed in research projects, the common challenges researchers face, and practical ways to improve it. There are different types of IP, which includes: number 1, patents for inventions; number 2, copyright for written work and software; number 3, trademarks for branding; and number 4, trade secrets for confidential processes. From the literature, I noticed common challenges like lack of knowledge, unclear policies in institutions, and conflicts when people work across countries with different IP laws. My research methodology was qualitative. Instead of collecting new data, I focused on reviewing existing studies and case reports so I could understand real-world IP issues and how different institutions handle them. I found that many researchers don't receive any form of IP training. When there are no early agreements, ownership conflicts often happen, especially in collaborations. But institutions that have support structures, like technology transfer offices or TTOs, tend to manage IP more effectively. And while joint ownership is common, it still needs clear terms to avoid issues. I studied 2 real-life cases. The first was from the University of Cape Town in South Africa. They had a proper system in place. A team submitted an invention early. The technology transfer offices, or TTO, handled it, and it was successfully patented. The second case was a collaboration between a UK and a Nigerian university. There was no IP agreement at the beginning, and when a breakthrough came, both sides claimed ownership. This delayed everything. So the key lesson is that from the beginning of your project or your study, you should always have your IP agreements. Like from the start, you should always have it. Based on my findings, I recommend that, number 1, institutions include IP awareness in research training. According to University of Cape Town, they had a proper system for it, so I feel like institutions should always include IP awareness in research training. Number 2, researchers should draft clear agreements before starting any project. And number 3, Universities should support IP protection and commercialization through dedicated offices or partnerships. To conclude, IP management is not just about law, it's about protecting and valuing innovation. With the right knowledge and institutional support, we can avoid conflicts and help research outcomes make real impact. Thank you for listening, and thank you for the opportunity to submit these assignments and research about this interesting topic.
Hi, I'm Pinta Henry, and I'm here to talk about my project, how quality assurance and control help us build better, safer, and smarter software. Think of it like baking a cake. Quality assurance is checking the recipe and making sure ingredients are fresh and intact, while quality control is like tasting the cake while baking, testing the software, finding bugs and fixing them before the user ever notices. Without proper QA, the software can break easily. In industries like healthcare, finance, and etc., like if there's a glitch in the software, it causes more harm than we can even imagine, like wrong diagnosis, loss of money. So my research has found that in many software projects, skipping QA and QC leads to delay, security flaws, and high costs from fixing bugs after launch. Modern solutions, that's how to fix complex software. Today there are tools like automated testing, code reviews, and continuous integration pipelines make quality checks faster and more reliable and easier. Frameworks like ISO 9001 and Agile QA processes help teams build quality in every stage of development and not just the end, continuously. In my paper, I recommend 3 big things, and they are train developers and testers so that they understand quality from day one. And also to follow structured processes like Agile QA or DevOps pipelines, and also to use tools like Git, Jira, and automated test frameworks to catch errors early and improve collaboration. At the end of the day, software isn't just about writing code, it's about solving real problems and writing these codes that are perfect, not necessarily perfect, but are reliable. Quality assurance and control make sure that we build software that actually work and are secure and meet the user needs. I'm Pinta Henry, and that's why QA and QC in software isn't optional, but it's essential. It's very important. Thank you.
Good day, my name is Amifle Darlington, and I'm presenting Healthcare IT projects. Healthcare IT projects such as electronic health records, EHR, and telemedicine are vital for improving patient healthcare and operational efficiency. However, their complexity, regulatory requirements, and stakeholder dynamics pose significant challenges. This proposal outlines key strategies to ensure successful healthcare IT project management. Key components: project planning. Define a clear scope, objective, and timeline using methodologies like Agile and Waterfall models. Allocate resources, financial, human, technological, effectively to avoid delay. 2. Stakeholder management. Identify and engage stakeholders, providers, staffs, patients, regulators, early to align expectations. Foster collaborations through regular communication and conflict resolution. Risk assessment, that's the third one. Proactively identify risks and development mitigation plans. Maintain a risk register and adapt strategies as needed. 4. Change management. Prepare staffs for workflow changes through training and support. Measure success via user adaptation rates and feedback. The best practices to use for this project will be to use agile methodologies for flexibility, prioritize stakeholders' engagement and interoperability, leverage technologies, e.g., project management software for efficiency. Case studies: EHR implementation, agile methods and stakeholders improvements led to success. Telemedicine during COVID-19, rapid adaptation highlighted agile effectiveness. Future trends: AI machine learning integration. Focus on interoperability and patient-centric solutions. Conclusion: effective healthcare IT project management requires a structured approach, combining planning, stakeholders, engagements, risk management, and adaptability. By adopting these strategies, organizations can enhance project success and improve healthcare delivery.
Hi everyone, welcome to my brief overview on my term paper on developing a project management office, or PMO, for organizational success. In today's business world, where efficiency, consistency, and strategic alignment are more important than ever, a well-structured PMO can be a game changer. Let's start with the basics. A project management office is a centralized unit within an organization that defines and maintains project management standards and practices. It doesn't just monitor projects, it provides governance, ensures alignment with business goals, and supports project managers and teams with tools, training, and guidance. So why do organizations need a PMO? First, it helps improve project success. Secondly, it applies standard processes. It ensures resource optimizations, better budgeting, and timeline management. And lastly, it enhances communication and visibility across projects. PMOs are not one size that fits all. There are three main types of PMOs: supporting PMOs, controlling PMOs, and finally directed PMOs. Supporting PMOs, which provide templates, best practice, and training, while controlling PMOs, which enforces compliance with standards and methodologies. Which directed PMOs, which directly manage projects and allocate resources. My paper outlines 5 key steps to successfully developing a PMO. So the 5 key steps to successfully develop a PMO: number 1, we have assessment. Understand current project management practices and gaps. Number 2, we have planning. Define the PMO structure, goals, and scope. Number 3, we have design. Establish processes, tools, and reporting structures. Number 4, we have implementation. Roll out the PMO in phases, starting with pilot projects. Number 5, we have continuous improvements. Regularly review and evolve based on feedback and performance metrics. So from what I said, we have 5. Number 1, we have assessment, which is the first part, the first type. Number 2, we have planning. Number 3, we have design. And number 4, implementation. Number 5, we have continuous improvement. Challenges and solutions. Of course, developing a PMO isn't without challenges, such as resistance to change, lack of executive support, or unclear objectives. So, to most of the challenges that we face when developing a PMO, number 1, we have resistance to change, meaning that when you change, your lack of executive support and unclear objectives, when you don't you don't have executive support, they overcome through strong. It can help. It's works as a challenge. Also, but this can over the solution to these problems is it can be overcome through strong leadership, clear communication, and involving
Hi everyone, my name is Jelida Oga, and today I'm going to be summarizing my research topic, which is based on the topic cost estimation and budgeting in construction projects. These two processes form the financial foundation of any construction project, and getting them wrong can be costly for everyone involved. So to start off, cost estimation involves forecasting how much money is going to be needed throughout the whole project, and that includes the use of materials, labor, equipment, as well as other costs. Budgeting, on the other hand, is about allocating funds towards the project. So you're going to be breaking down how much money you're going to be using throughout the project lifecycle, and both are critical for delivering a project successfully, on time, and within financial limits. The goal of my research is to analyze how cost estimation and budgeting works in construction, explore the different methods used, and understand the challenges that lead to cost overruns. So starting off, the fundamentals of cost estimation. There are several types of cost estimations in constructions, and a few would be preliminary estimates, which are made early with limited information. That's at the start of any project. The next one will be detailed estimates, and they are created once designs are finalized, so we are more sure of the estimates that we are making at this point. And also the conceptual estimates. These are broad predictions based on the experience of similar projects, so we're going to be using other projects that align with our project as sort of a blueprint to see how much we're going to make or how much we're going to use in the long run. So factors like labor cost, material prices, project location, and complexity heavily influences cost estimation. So using historical data and benchmarks from past projects really helps to improve the accuracy that goes into cost estimation. So next off, in chapter 2, we're going to be talking about budgeting in construction projects. So budgeting is more than just setting a spending cap, like being like, you can't spend over this much. It's more than that. It also involves planning how every naira is going to be used towards the project, from direct costs like materials and labor to indirect costs like having to pay for permits, insurance, as well as utilities. One key difference between estimation and budgeting is that budgeting is continuous. You have to continue budgeting, and it must be monitored and adjusted throughout the project. You have to continue monitoring your budget to like see if you need to make any adjustments, because you don't know what might change during the timeline of your project. So contingency funds are also vital for handling unexpected expenses. So you should have a backup for your project. You should have a backup amount that you use to handle unexpected expenses. Alright, so next off, in chapter 3, we're going to be discussing methods of cost estimation. There are several methods used to estimate costs. First off is the top-down approach, which uses overall project comparisons. And then we have the bottom-up method, which builds estimates from smaller work units and more specific techniques, also in and unit rates, to make estimations. And then you also have 3-point estimation, which considers your best case, worst case, and most likely case scenarios. Also, nowadays in modern construction, there's also the use of software tools, which allows for faster and more precise estimates, which make things easier for everyone involved in the construction project. Now, moving on to chapter 4, where we're going to be discussing budgeting challenges. Budgeting comes with real challenges, and one of the common issues include cost overruns, which could be from anything ranging from inflation, design changes, material shortages, as well as poor forecasting. That's why earlier I'd spoken about having a backup fund, and that backup fund is supposed to help with these unforeseeable changes that might happen. Sometimes fraud or poor management also plays a role as well. So you could be scammed out of maybe buying materials, or maybe someone had managed
materials or resources poorly, and this can also come into cost overruns, adding to budget challenges. To avoid these issues, it's essential to conduct proper risk assessments, plan contingencies, as well as use tracking tools to monitor the progress and expense throughout the project. And that's why earlier I spoken of software tools that make these activities faster, easier, and more precise. All right, moving on to chapter 5, where I will be discussing real world case studies specific to Nigeria. A major example is the Nigerian National Assembly Complex Renovation Project, which was initially budgeted at 30 billion naira. The project faced major public criticism and delays due to unclear cost breakdowns and adjustments in the whole scope of the project. The lack of transparent cost estimation and planning led to suspicion of mismanagement as well as inflated costs, which ultimately eroded the public's trust. On the flip side, we also have Eco Atlantic Project in Lagos, which has shown stronger financial planning with private funding and phased construction, allowing for better budgeting and investment management. Now, while all these feats were not without challenges, its ability to attract investors and remain largely on track demonstrates the benefits of effective cost estimation as well as effective and disciplined budgeting. These Nigerian examples highlight a key lesson. When cost estimation is realistic and budgeting is transparent, it actually helps the project more, and projects are more likely to succeed. But when there's poor planning or weak oversight, delays, as well as financial waste, not being transparent with the cost evaluation, the project will most likely be guaranteed to be a fail, or at least it wouldn't be as efficient as you would have hoped. So, the conclusion to my paper, to wrap up, cost estimation and budgeting, they are not just financial tools. They are strategic practices that directly impact whether a project succeeds or fails. The research shows that the best practices include choosing the right strategic practices that directly impact whether a project succeeds or fails. The research shows that the best practices include choosing the right estimation method, setting aside contingency funds in case of any unplanned occurrences that might happen, using updated data, and continuously monitoring the budget throughout the project, which has been made easier with software tools. By doing so, construction teams can improve efficiency, avoid surprises, as well as deliver high quality results within the budget. Thank you for watching.
Good evening, sir. My name is Gochubadu Gokulet, and my topic is marketing project management, branding and strategy. Firstly, branding has evolved from just logos and slogans. It has evolved down to the integrity of the company. So a good company needs to have a good brand. That's like a good representation of their values, experiences, and relationships. The statements, problem statements. Despite increased investments in branding activities, many companies still fail to achieve brand loyalty and recognition due to poorly managed brand projects. A lack of planning, resource allocation, and ineffective execution are among these factors. So the research objectives include to explore the importance of project management and identify the modern techniques in branding and highlight challenges and propose solutions based on recent research. My second part comprises of the models and frameworks, recent trends so far in branding strategies, branding strategy development, branding positioning strategies, project planning and scheduling, budget and resource allocation, rapid market changing, resource management, case studies and insights, and lastly, conclusion. In all, I just want to say, marketing project management offers branding terms, the discipline and agility needed in today's dynamic marketplace. By integrating planning, agile execution, technology, and real-time analysis, businesses can develop and execute branding strategies that resonate deeply with consumers. Recommendations: adopt agile framework, invest in consumer data, train cross-functional teams, and prioritize sustainability and authenticity. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Akujigwe King David, VUG/22/7367. My topic is corporate social responsibility (CSR). Integration of CSR becomes embedded into business's operation rather than treated as a separate innovative. This means incorporating social and environment considerations into decision-making, processes, supply chain management, and product development. That are the uses and the implementation of CSR. Then also, in my paper, I discussed about measurements and reporting. Organization track processes through the key performance indicators and regulatory report results to stakeholders through sustainability reports or integrated annual reports. This transparency builds trust and accountability. This is what I've discussed in my 10 paper. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Daniel Inaju. I'm a 300 level software engineering student of Veritas University, Abuja, offering St. 304, which with the course title of Software Engineering Project Management. And this course is being facilitated or taken by Dr. Anayo Ikegbu, aka Analyst. So today I'll be presenting a 10 paper I prepared captioned Advancement in Healthcare Optimization, a synthesis of emerging methodologies. So my agenda for this presentation includes the following: introduction to healthcare optimization, emerging methodologies, comparative advantages over traditional methods, future directions, and conclusion, and then question and answer. So for the introduction, healthcare systems worldwide are under immense pressure, grappling with pervasive inefficiencies that manifest as protracted patient waiting times, escalating operational costs, fragmented care workflows, and suboptimal resource utilization. These challenges directly impact patient outcomes, staff well-being, and the overall sustainability of healthcare delivery. Traditional optimization methods, which include manual data collection and observation, static scheduling, algorithms, rudimentary queuing models, and basic statistical analysis of historical data, are increasingly ill-equipped to handle these complexities. So, their limitation often includes an inability to adapt to real-time changes, inadequate protection of sensitive patient data, and inability to the lack of predictive power for proactive decision making. So the emerging technologies in my 10th paper to address these issues includes the following: privacy-preserving optimization, hybrid machine learning models, and the quantitative data-driven frameworks. So privacy-preserving optimization. So with this technique called multi-party computation and homophobic encryption. So I'll be speaking about the MPC first, which stands for Secure Multi-Party Computation. So what does it do? It enables multiple distinct parties, each holding private data, to jointly compute a function over their combined data without revealing their individual raw data inputs to each other. So this is achieved through cryptographic protocols that distribute computation across encrypted shared data. So in my 10th paper, citing Spinney et al., demonstrated a practical application of MPC to analyze and cluster hospital staff workflow using sensitive real-time location system data. That's called RTLS. So, this RTLS tracks staff movement to understand their workflow and pattern. So I just talked about it, the GPDR compliance for privacy. So I'll be speaking about the limitation of this particular technique. So the identified limitation of this particular technique involves primary drawback. The primary drawback of this secure multi-party computation includes high infrastructural demand, and high infrastructural demand associated with integrated HE, that is homophobic encryption, into IoT ecosystem. This includes the need for substantial computational resources to handle complex cryptographic operations of HE and robust communication networks, to manage the workflow of encrypted data from myriad IoT devices to processing centers. Now, the homomorphic encryption allows computation on encrypted data. So this is basically like encrypting an encrypted data. So it's like a two-level of encryption. This is a very secure way, secure technique we can employ into a primary healthcare system to secure patients' data. And so the limitation of this particular encryption is high infrastructural demand. I spoke. It's still the same with the other technique I talked about, the MPC, which stands for secure. MPC, which stands for Secure Multi-Party Computation. Yes. So next is hybrid machine learning model. Hybrid machine model like CCRBM WO combine feature extraction and optimization to enhance accuracy and speed in healthcare prediction, outperforming traditional methods significantly. Quantitative data-driven framework, which includes carrying out surveys to identify regional healthcare priorities and role-based insights for tailored solutions. So the limitation of this is sampling bias. So I should talk about this, but quite time conscious. So, but anyways, I'll try to briefly speak about it. So, sampling bias. So, purposive sampling involves selecting participants based on specific characteristics relevant to their study aim, which, while useful for gathering targeted information, may not yield a sample that is fully representative of the entire healthcare system, professional population, and as a result, it limits the generalizability of some findings. Comparative advantages over traditional method. So comparative advantages over traditional model includes the following: MPC-based clustering versus manual observation. CCRBM WO versus logistic regression, machine learning driven survey versus linear programming. So future direction, hybrid cryptographic ML model, edge computing for reduced latency, and regulatory sandboxes for compliant machine learning adoption. So in conclusion, the synthesis of recent review studies demonstrate that the next generation of healthcare optimization hinges on a multifaceted approach that intelligently integrates advanced technologies and data-driven strategies. The methodologies explore secure multi-party computation, homomorphic encryption, hybrid machine learning models like CCRBWO, and quantitative data-driven frameworks. So it signals a paradigm shift away from the reactive problem-solving method towards privacy preserving and contextual aware optimization. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Kenja Isabe. My matric number is VG/SCN/22/8101, and today I'm here to talk about my project topic, which is Cloud Integration Project Management. So it's a very simple thing. Cloud Integration Project Management strategy. This outlines how effective plans, execute, monitor cloud services with existing systems. An example of a cloud integration system is Amazon Web Service, which is AWS. So this enables infinite security, which means that most of your files are saved online and there is a database for it. And then for most of these things to happen, you have to ensure that your projects are being planned. You have to have a definite goal. You have to design architectures for the modalities of the design, and also you have to also implement it, which means that there would have to be project management practices for these designs. Thank you.
My name is Matthew Oche. I'm a 3rd level software engineering student, VUG SEN 8454. I'm here to talk about my topic around risk management for construction projects, a comprehensive guide. So the abstract is construction projects are complex and multifaceted, involving numerous stakeholders and significant resources and high stakes. Effective risk management is very crucial. So in my table of contents, I have my introduction, my risk management frameworks, risk identification, risk assessment, and risk mitigation. I also have risk monitoring, case studies and examples, challenges and future directions, conclusion, and my reference. My introduction: construction projects are characterized by complexity, uncertainty, and risk. Risk management is essential to identify, assess, and mitigate potential risks that could impact project objectives. Effective risk management enables project managers to minimize losses, ensure project success, and achieve stakeholder satisfaction. We have the risk management frameworks. We have several risk management frameworks available, including ISO 31000, and that's an international standard for risk management, providing guidelines for risk assessment and management. We also have Project Management Institute, PMI, provides a structured approach to risk management, including risk identification, assessment, and mitigation. We also have the Agile Risk Management, an iterative and adaptive approach to risk management, suitable for projects with rapidly changing requirements. Then we have the risk identification. The risk identification involves identifying potential risks that could impact project objectives. The techniques include brainstorming, SWOT analysis, checklists, and interviews. Then for risk assessment, which involves evaluating the likelihood and impact of identifying risks. Techniques include qualitative risk assessment, quantitative risk assessment, and risk matrices. For risk mitigation, involves developing strategies to minimize or eliminate potential risk. Techniques include risk avoidance, risk transfer, risk reduction, and risk acceptance. Then we also have risk monitoring, involves tracking and reviewing risk mitigation strategies. Techniques include regular risk reviews, regular risk dashboard, lessons learned. Then case studies and examples. We have several construction projects have demonstrated effective risk management strategies, including the London Olympics. The project team implemented a comprehensive risk management framework, identifying and mitigating potential risks. The Sydney Opera House. The project team used a risk management approach to address technical and financial risk. Then the challenges and future directions. Despite the importance of risk management in construction projects, there are several challenges that risk managers face. This includes complexity and uncertainty, Construction projects are characterized by complexity and uncertainty, making it challenging to identify and assess risk. We also have limited resources, stakeholder engagement, and the conclusion. Risk management is a critical component of construction projects by identifying, assessing, and mitigating potential risks. Then my recommendations, we have develop a comprehensive risk management framework, use risk management tools and techniques, engage stakeholders. Then references, we have ISO.
Hello, my name is Adepupo Stephanie Alaho. I'm a 300 level software engineering student, and this is my research pitch on product launch project management for 2006. In today's fast-paced, innovative driven economy, launching a product successfully requires more than just a great idea. It demands a structural approach, team alignment, and hitting the market at the right time. Despite significant investments in product development, studies reveal that 30% of product launches fail. My paper explores how modern product management tools and frameworks like Agile, stakeholder analysis, and risk planning can increase launch success. I analyzed 15 recent studies from 2021 to 2025, both academic and industry sources, and identified 5 key areas that drive successful launches. They are as follows: strategic alignment, agile and hybrid project frameworks, team collaboration and stakeholder engagement, risk and resource management, metrics for post-launch evaluation. The biggest insight would be that great products fail without great project management. From AI tools to no-code platforms, the project manager's role is evolving, and it's more critical than ever in product launch success. Thank you for listening. If you want to find out more on turning launch chaos into launch success, check out the full paper. Let's launch smart.
Good day, my name is Momo Oliver. I'm talking about cloud security and compliance strategy. As organizations migrate to the cloud and integration multiple services, securities and regulation compliance becomes critical. A cloud security compliance strategy involves designing and implementing measures that ensures data confidentiality. The key components to these strategies, they include identification and access management, data encryption, security monitoring, and incident response, compliance audits, and reporting. Shared responsibility models. This topic is essential for the project management, IT leaders, and compliance officers to ensure smooth and secure cloud integration.
Good evening, sir. This is my 10 paper summary video, and the topic of my 10 paper is managing projects in remote work environment, tools, challenges, and best practices. Remote work is no longer a trend. It's the new normal for creative teams and IT professionals alike. But how do you manage projects effectively when everyone's miles apart? In this short video, we'll break down the key tools, challenges, and strategies for making remote project work succeed. Since 2020, remote work has surged throughout the group. Fields like software development, design, and marketing all require digital tools and structured workflows to stay productive. But remote work also brings new challenges like communication gaps, weakened creativity, and trust issues. Tools of the trade. Remote work success depends on the right tools. Research highlights a few essentials. Asana and Trello, these are for task tracking, Slack for real-time communication, Zoom for face-to-face meetings, Jira for technical issue tracking, Mural and Figma for visual collaboration. Most teams just combine these tools to stay connected and on task. But these tools aren't everything. Research shows remote teams struggle with less cross-team collaboration, fewer spontaneous creative ideas, miscommunication and time zone issues, difficulty building trust and engagement. One study even showed or found fully remote teams are less likely to make breakthrough innovations. Now, these are some of the best practices. To tackle these challenges, companies use proven strategies like adopting built or hybrid agile methods. These are flexible sprints and stand-ups via videos, making space for human connections like regular check-ins, phone chats, or virtual games, building psychological safety, that's encouraging open communication without fear, using digital whiteboards and feedback tools to simulate creative spaces. Leaders should promote clarity, empathy, and structure, all while using the tools that fit the team's specific needs. Now, why this topic matters. From graphic designers to software engineers, remote teams now make up a large part of today's workforce. But what does it take to keep these teams aligned, motivated, and productive? This paper explores the tools, problems, and practices that make remote project success possible. Now, here are some use cases, real-world use cases of remote project management. GitLab, fully remote since day one. Key takeaway is that GitLab has over 2,000 employees working remotely in more than 55 countries. They've built a detailed remote playbook with over 2,000 pages of internal documentation. They use asynchronous communication, clear documentation, and transparency to manage everything from product development to onboarding. Next is Automattic, the makers of WordPress. The key takeaway is Automattic, the company behind WordPress.com, WooCommerce, and Tumblr, has more than 1,800 employees that are remote worldwide. They eliminated physical offices and gave their members $2,500 to set up a home office. They prioritize written communication, flexibility, and occasional in-person meetups. The last use case is Zapier and asynchronous collaboration across time zones. Key takeaway is that Zapier has no central HQ and they've been remote for years with over 700 employees across 17 time zones. They use async updates, Slack bots, and Zapier automations to keep projects moving. They publish an internal remote manifesto and train employees in remote first workflows. Future trends. The future of remote work is hybrid, flexible, and global. AI project tools, real-time translation, and smarter collaboration platforms will continue to evolve. But no matter the tools, the focus must stay on human connection, clarity, and adaptability. In conclusion, remote project management is an ongoing experiment and an exciting opportunity. With the right mindset and methods, this becomes a stepping stone for success instead of a barrier. Thank you.
My name is Alalibo Hori Shochinazom, a trained leader of the software engineering department with my matric number of VUG 27357. Today I'm talking about a really important topic, international business. How to manage marketing teams in a global organization, presented to Mr. Anayo. Its market is expanding across borders. Knowing how to manage diverse teams effectively is more important than ever. Global organizations operate across multiple countries and cultures. This means marketing teams often include people from different backgrounds, languages, and work styles. While this brings creativity and perspective, it also brings challenges like communication barriers and timing differences. Leadership in this setting requires more than just authority. It demands cultural intelligence, emotional awareness, and the ability to adapt. A successful leader must encourage collaboration across remote teams, foster inclusivity, and lead with flexibility. Misunderstandings in global marketing teams often come from differences in language, tone, or cultural context. To manage this, it's crucial to use clear, simple communication and the right digital tools like project management platforms and video meetings. Trust is key in any team, but especially in global teams where you might not meet in person. Establishing clear rules, setting expectations, and following through on commitments helps build that trust. Regular check-ins also keep everyone on the same page. Different cultures are motivated in different ways. While one team may value recognition, another may prefer financial rewards. Understanding these differences is key to keep people motivated and maintaining high performance. Technology bridges the gap between members in different countries, and tools like Slack, Zoom, and Trello allow team members to collaborate in real time, share updates, and manage campaigns from anywhere in the world. Investing in ongoing training helps people and global marketing teams stay competitive. Whether it's learning new marketing trends or improving cultural communication, continuous development ensures that teams remain effective and adaptable. Different regions have different rules around data, advertising, and consumer rights. It's critical for marketing teams to be aware of these laws and ensure campaigns are both ethical and legal. In conclusion, managing marketing teams globally isn't easy, but when done right, it unlocks huge potential. With strong leadership, effective communication, cultural understanding, and the right tools, global teams can work together to create powerful, world-class marketing strategies. Thanks for watching.
Good morning, sir. My name is Anike Olivia, and my topic for this time paper is risk management in healthcare projects. I'm going to start from my abstracts. Risk management is an essential aspect of healthcare project management, and it plays a crucial role in ensuring successful execution, sustainability, and overall effectiveness within the healthcare sector. And this paper delves deeply into various dimensions of risk management in the healthcare sector, outlining the risk categories, including operational risks, financial risks, cybersecurity threats, and regulatory compliance challenges. This paper explores prominent risk management frameworks such as the IOS 31000 and the Project Management Body of Knowledge, which provides a systematic approach to identifying, analyzing, and mitigating risks in healthcare products. Next is my introduction. Risk management is a fundamental component of healthcare product management, and it plays a crucial role in safeguarding successful execution of projects by identifying and analyzing potential threats before the project is sent out to the market. Furthermore, the dynamic healthcare adds another layer of complexity to risk management, using factors such as rapidly changing medical regulations, patients' confidentiality requirements, data security threats, and financial constraints associated with healthcare delivery. Furthermore, regulatory compliance is a key aspect of healthcare product management, which treats governance compliances and industry standards, governing various aspects of medical care. Next is the risk management framework and strategies. The risk management frameworks used in this paper research is IOS 31000 and the Product Management Body of Knowledge, which provides a structured and systematic approach to risk management within the broader scope of project management. It helps identify the risk management as a multi-step process that includes risk identification, qualitative and quantitative risk analysis, risk response and planning, and continuous risk monitoring and control. Next are the emerging technologies in risk management. The emerging technologies in risk management used in this paper research is AI and machine learning, which have significantly transformed the landscape of risk assessment in healthcare projects. Case studies used in this paper research. The first case study was implementation of AI in risk assessment. The second case study was financial risk mitigation in hospital IT projects. The third case study was enhancing patient safety through proactive risk management. Fourth case study, risk mitigation in medical supply chain management. Fifth case study, cybersecurity risk management in telemedicine. In conclusion, effective risk management is imperative for the successful execution of healthcare projects, ensuring that potential threats are systematically identified, assessed, and mitigated before they are negatively impacted into the project outcomes. In addition to technology inventions, investing in continuous staff training and development is crucial in the healthcare production. Thank you.
In my paper, I explored how risk management applies, especially to scientific research projects involving software development. These projects often involve undergoing changes in requirements and experimental results, making them inherently uncertain. I discussed the risk management lifecycle, which includes risk identification, which is recognizing what could go wrong, risk assessment, which is analyzing the likelihood and impact of those risks, risk response planning, which is deciding how to mitigate, transfer, or accept the risk, monitoring and control, that is tracking down the risks and spotting new ones during the project. A case study I examined involved a software-based research project aimed at automating laboratory data analysis. The team faced delays due to underestimated integration challenges. By applying structured risk management, they were able to reallocate resources and revise the timeline, eventually meeting to their objectives without exceeding the budget. This paper concludes that incorporating a formal risk management strategy increases the resilience and effectiveness of the research project. For software engineering in particular, where innovation meets uncertainty, structured risk control is not just enough, it is essential. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Dr. Anayo. My name is Agama Lydia Aga, and I'm here to present my term paper, Project Management for Warehouse Operations and Optimization, where I talk to you about how software has solved warehouse management in a large company like Walmart, Amazon, and if we're going to be local, Jumia, and the challenges I faced and the benefits of this particular term paper. In chapter 1 to the aim and objective for this paper is to talk about the performance demanding rigorous planning, coordination, and control, examining the contemporary project management methodologies like agile, lean, and hybrid approaches in the warehouse optimization from 2021 to 2025, and it highlights case studies from leading operations and identifying persistent challenges like change management, workforces, training, and cybersecurity. So I'll start. The warehouse operation optimization applies project managing methodologies like agile, lean, and hybrid approach that can drive efficiency and cost effectiveness. Emerging technologies like IoT, robotics, and digital twins and big data analysis can enhance visibility, throughput, and decision making. Challenges are change in management, workforces training, cybersecurity are crucial to address for successful project implementations. Now, the project management methodologies like Agile facilitate incremental deployment, and rigid adjustments through planning and stakeholders' feedback. Lean eliminates waste and streamlines flow through techniques like 5S and value stream mapping. The hybrid combines PMBOK's rigor with Agile's flexibility for balance, governance, and adaptability. Now, I will use the case study of Walmart's IoT sensor rollout. Hybrid project management approach has reduced the inventory losses due to the spoilage by 25%. And examples will be Amazon robotic integrations and DHL lean transformations. And the recommendations for this research paper or this term paper, for this term paper is invent in training. First one will be invent in training, implementing comprehensive training and challenges and change management plans to build workforce compatibility. Strength in cybersecurity integrates security planning from project initiation, including risk assessment and regular audits. So basically, in summary, this term paper just discusses about the operations of a warehouse and how software has made it easy or enhanced it. Talking about how the challenges from changing management to workflows to people in training and also security breach can affect this project or this term paper. The focus or the methodologies used are Agile, Lean, combining them together to form a solution for this thing. And Amazon and DHL and Walmart can testify to how it has effectively helped them and saved them a lot of damages. Thank you for listening. I hope this explains the entire term paper. Have a nice day and God bless you.
Good day, sir. My name is Sinclair Wanchuku and my project topic was number 27. And the topic is how agile methodologies manage the software development lifecycle in modern software projects. Okay, the summary of chapter 1. Chapter 1 basically just introduced us to the central focus of the paper, letting us know things about it and let us know the objectives, and the research questions are designed to explore agile principles. And it talks about the SDLC phases, talks about the phases of the SDLC and how everything relates to agile method. Now, chapter 2 is literature review. The literature review in the paper explores the evolution and philosophy behind agile methodology. So this is basically going deeper into agile methodology by looking at different papers that have been written in different years, especially 2021 to 2025, and everything concerning agile, including AI-powered development tools and integration with DevOps pipelines and so on and so forth. And chapter 3 is methodology. This chapter outlines the research design used to study SDLC management. It includes it is basically the studying of how the agile method is used, the structures and everything involving it. Chapter 4 is discussion. It's the breaking down of the agile method into the various SDLC phases and deeply explaining and exploring every single aspect that is important in a developer's life. Still talks about key tools that are used to examine like Jira, Trello, Jenkins, and Git. All these tools are very important in agile method. Chapter 5, summary and conclusion. So this is the end of the whole thing. It refers to Agile's iterative nature, emphasis on collaboration and learns on modern tools have made it powerful. So now this is the rounding up of everything that lets us to understand that agile method is something that is very beautiful and it's something that should still be used, and it's good and it helps developers because it increases collaboration, it aids growth, it aids understanding, and yes, it's the best method I advise, and that should be advised for other developers in every area of field where they decide to go into. Thank you, sir.
Good day, my name is Eje Japheth, Software Engineering 300 level. I will be making a project presentation on global supply chain management. So for the introductory aspects, global supply chain management is a critical aspect of project management that involves the planning, coordinating and executing supply chain activities across geographical boundaries. In today's interconnected world, organizations operate in complex my battery. Organizations operate in complex global environments where supply chains span multiple countries, cultures, and regulatory frameworks. Effective supply chain management is essential for the organization to remain competitive in the global market. The importance of global supply chain management cannot be overstated. So, without the rise of globalization, organizations are increasingly sourcing materials, components, and services from suppliers located in different parts of the world. This tends to create new challenges and opportunities for organizations to manage their supply chain effectively. So, global supply chain management involves a range of activities, including sourcing and procurement, logistics and transportation, inventory management, demand planning and forecasting, supply chain risk management, and some other more. Effective global supply chain management requires a deep understanding of these activities and the ability to coordinate them across different regions and cultures. The benefits of global supply chain management includes improved efficiency and productivity, reduced costs and increased profitability, enhanced customer satisfaction and loyalty, increased activity or increased agility to responsive challenging marketing issues and conditions. However, managing global supply chains is not without its challenges. Organizations also face a range of obstacles, which can include global market complexity, supply chain risks and disruptions, communications and coordination challenges, cultural and regulatory differences, and so many more. This 10 paper of mine would explore these challenges and best practice in managing global supply chain projects. By understanding this complexity of global supply chain management, organizations can develop strategies to improve their supply and chain management capabilities and remain competitive in the global market. Some of the key issues that will be discussed in this chapter includes the impact of globalization on supply chain management, the importance of supply chain integration and coordination, the role of technology in the global chain management system, the need for effective risk management and contemporary planning, and then some other more that will be discussed as we go on.
Yes, sir. My name is William Patrick. I'm a 300 level student of the Department of Software Engineering, and this is my 5 minute summary video for my 10 paper, for my Centrio for 10 paper. The topic I chose was balancing cost, time, and quality in project management. And project management is important in ensuring organizational objectives are met efficiently and effectively. And at the core, at the heart of each project, there are three constraints or three critically interdependent constraints. Interdependence means that they can't do without each other. So these three constraints go hand in hand together. These three constraints are time, cost, and quality. And striking a balance between these three constraints is essential for successful project outcomes because these constraints are intrinsically linked, such that optimizing one of the constraints leads to a compromise in another of the constraints, which overall won't yield a successful project. And the purpose of these constraints, the purpose of having these constraints is to strike a balance between them and help us yield successful project outcomes. So um, my 10 paper contains 7 chapters, and basically the 10 paper explores how project managers utilize various tools, methods, and techniques to navigate these three constraints and achieve deliberate equilibrium. So the first chapter of my project talks about the triple constraints model, which is also known as the iron triangle, and how each of these constraints relates to each other. And in traditional management, time is often seen as the most critical element, followed closely by cost, then quality. But recent studies in our recent times, like from 2023 upwards, have suggested and have proven that the triple constraints model is seen through an evolving view, which requires a deep understanding of how cost, time, and quality operate in the changing environment. So basically, the first chapter of my 10 paper talks about just gives a brief, other than the introduction segment, the first chapter still gives a brief introduction on what these constraints are, and what the constraints are about. Well, I can see I have just 2 minutes left, so my summary will be quick from here on. The second chapter talks about cost management in projects, from defining cost management, what is cost management, what does it entail, its advantages, and all that. The third chapter talks about the different time management strategies, and we all know how important time management is in product development, software development to be certain. Time is of essence. So that's what the third chapter of my paper talks about. Then, the next chapter talks about quality assurance and control, its importance, and how it helps in project management. Next is trade-offs and decision making. And in what this section entails is how project managers use different decision-making models and patterns to evaluate trade-offs and make informed and better and more effective decisions, which in turn yield successful project outcomes. In the next chapter, talks about different project management methodologies. Talks about the different methodologies, but mainly hybrid project management methodologies. And hybrid methodologies are those ones that are formed from the combination of both traditional and modern methodologies. And a very popular example of a hybrid methodology that is in use now by most companies and most developers is the PRINCE2, which combines elements of both traditional and flexible project management and project development approaches. The next section talks about the risks and uncertainty. It just goes further to emphasize that risk is a factor that should be considered in project management, because you can never know, because whatever you do, whether you add, whatever you remove, can affect the project in any way. No outcome is certain. So we have that uncertainty there is factored in as risk. And that part of my 10 paper talks about the best methods and best ways to handle risk. The next chapter contains case studies from 2021 to 2025.